which is why
Which
kind
is
of
why I
thing
kind of
maybe
think that maybe
podcast
podcast
won't
won't,
dry
try
out
out
anytime
anything soon.
soon. I
I
wonder
wonder why
why
questions
questions
and
and
answer
answers are
are
the
the
best
best
way
way
to
to
extract
extract
knowledge
knowledge
honestly, rather
honestly
than just
rather than just
reading
reading a
scripture.
scripture.
Have you ever thought of
Have you ever
this?
thought of this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because
everyone is on
everyone
an
is on
individual
an
journey.
individual journey.
In the
In the
Bhagavad
Bhagavad
Gita,
Gita,
Krishna
Krishna
explains that
explains that
every
every soul
soul
is
is
unique,
unique, every
every
soul is
soul is
amazing,
amazing,
every
every
soul
soul
has
has
its
its unique
unique
abilities
abilities and
and
unique
unique
journey.
journey.
And
And
therefore,
therefore,
although there are
although there are
universal
universal
spiritual
spiritual truths
truths that relate
that
to
relate to
everyone, what we
everyone,
call
what we call
Sanatan
Sanatan
Dharma,
Dharma,
there
there
within
within
that is
that
an
is an
individual
individual
path.
path,
And therefore,
and therefore
questions
questions
allow us to
allow us
get
to
to the
get to the
heart
heart
of what
of
that
what that
individual
individual
is
is feeling
feeling
on
on
their
their
path.
path. And those
And those
questions
questions
really
really
allow us
allow
to
us
then
to
take
then take
universal
universal
spiritual
spiritual
principles
principles
and
and
relate
relate
them to
them
the
to the
human
human
condition
condition
that we're
that we are
facing
facing
now.
now.
And so I
And
think
so I
it
think
really
it's really
allows us
allow
to
us to personalize
personalize a
our
philosophy.
philosophy.
Okay.
Okay.
After
I
dive
have
into a
to dive
lot of
into a
different
lot of different
subjects with you,
subjects with
I
you.
want to
I want to
begin
begin
with
with
this.
this.
I've
Yeah.
I
actually
have actually
never
never seen
seen
this in
this in person,
person.
seen it
I
in
have seen it in
photos.
photos.
I
I
don't
don't
have
have much
much
of
of
an
an
idea
idea of
of
what
what
this
this
is.
is.
So
So
I'm
I am
assuming
using
it's
it's a
a
sort
sort
of
of a
a
sadhana
sadhana
that
that
you're
you are
doing.
doing.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
this is the
the
staff
staff of
of
a renunciate
renunciate
in
in
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
We call it
We
a
call it a
danda.
danda.
The word
The word
danda
danda
actually means
actually means a
discipline.
discipline.
And
And
the
the
renunciates,
renunciates
they
they
carry
carry
the
the
danda.
danda.
It's
It's
almost like
almost
a
like a
discipline of the
discipline of the
mind.
mind.
So wherever
So
we
wherever
go,
we
we
go, we
carry
carry
this
this
with
with
us.
us.
It's
It's
made up
made up
of
of
three
three
bamboo
bamboo sticks.
sticks. Bamboo is a
Bamboo is a
beautiful
beautiful
kind
kind
of
of
um, natural
natural
resource,
resource
because when the
because when
wind
the
goes
wind goes
through the
through the
bamboo, it
bamboo,
makes a
it makes a
beautiful
beautiful
sound.
sound. So
So
the
the
staff
staff
of
of
the
the renunciate is
renunciate
meant to
is meant to
signify that they
signify
go
that they
around
go
making
around
the beautiful
making the beautiful
sound of
sound of
sharing spiritual
sharing spiritual
wisdom with
wisdom with the
people,
people,
uplifting people's
uplifting
lives.
people's lives.
And specifically,
And
the
specifically,
three
the three
rods
roads
represent the
represents the
mind,
mind,
the
the
body, and
body,
the
and the
words.
words.
And the
And the
idea is
idea
that it
is that it
reminds us that
reminds
our
us that
life
our life
now is
now is
dedicated
dedicated mind,
mind,
body, and words
words to
to
sharing
sharing
spirituality with
spirituality with
people,
people
trying to
and
make the
trying to
world a
make the
more
world a more
beautiful
beautiful
place.
place.
Yeah.
Okay?
But what do you
But
mean
what
mind,
do you
body, and
mean
words? Like,
mind, body,
how
words?
does it
Like, how does
manifest?
that manifest in the real world?
Well, everything
Well,
begins in the
everything begins
mind.
in the mind.
So our
So, our
thoughts,
thoughts,
our
our
contemplations,
contemplations,
our
our desires,
desires, then
then those
those
contemplations
contemplations
usually
usually
turn
turn
into
into
our
our
words.
words. We
We
share
share
those
those
thoughts, we
thoughts, we
discuss
discuss
them, we
them, we
explore
explore
them with
them with
others,
others,
and then
and then
eventually lead
eventually I
to
lead
our
to our
activities. So
activities.
then we
So
do
then we do
things in the
things in the
world.
world.
So the
So the
idea
idea
is
is
that
that
we try
we
to
try to
keep the
keep the mind,
mind,
body,
body,
and
and
purse
words
aligned
aligned um, in
in a
spiritual
spiritual
consciousness,
consciousness,
in
in a
spiritual
spiritual
direction.
direction.
Start with
Start with the
spiritual
spiritual
thoughts,
thoughts,
express
express
spiritual
spiritual words,
words, and then
and then
perform
perform
spiritual
spiritual acts.
acts.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that's what we're going to
I
do in
think
today's
that's
episode.
what we are
My
going to. My
original
original
thought
thought
with
with
this conversation
this
was that we
conversation
break
was that
down
we
the
are break
Bhagavad
down the
Gita,
Bhagavad Gita,
and I'm just
and
going to tell
I
you
am just
what I
going to
felt
tell you
when I
what I
saw you.
felt when I saw you.
While
While
I
I
know
know
the
the
value of the
value of the
Bhagavad
Bhagavad
Gita
Gita,
and
and
I
I know
know how
how
curious people
curious
are
people are
about it,
about it,
I'd actually
I
like to
just
begin with
actually
your
like to
story,
begin with your story
because
because
I just
I
know
just
there's
know
some
these
human story
human story
behind
behind
like
like
the
the
monk
monk
life.
life.
I
I
feel
feel
for
for
some
some
reason you've
reason you
seen a
have seen a
lot
lot
in your
in your
human
human journey
journey
before
before
the
the monkhood
monkhood
began.
began.
While that is true
While
for
that is
many
true for many
monks, I
monks,
feel
I feel
some of the
some
monks
of
I've
the
met have
monks
had a
I have met
more
have had a more
unique
unique
journey than
journey than
others,
others,
especially
especially in
in
their
their
pre
pre-monkhood
monkhood
life.
life.
Why do I feel
Why
like
do
you've
I
seen
feel like you
pain or
have seen
something, man?
pain or something, man?
Like
Like
before,
before,
I
I
feel like
feel
you've
like you have
seen like
seen some
some
sort
sort
of
of heavy
heavy
pain
pain
uh, in your human
in
side.
your
Am I
human
right?
side.
Am
Am
I
I
wrong
right?
in
Am
saying
I
that?
wrong in saying that?
Of course,
Of
the
course, the
Bhagavad
Bhagavad
Gita
Gita explained
explains that
that
our
our
journey
journey
in
in
spirituality
spirituality
didn't
didn't
begin
begin
with
with
this
this world
life.
life,
We're
with
souls.
souls.
And therefore,
And
when we
therefore,
enter this
when we enter
life,
this
we
life, we
enter with a
enter with a
history.
history.
From
From
previous
previous
lives, there is
lives,
what we
there
call
is
a
what we call
swabhav,
a swabhava,
certain
certain
impressions that
impression
we
that we are
carry.
carrying.
And there's
And
also karma,
there also come a certain
uh, reactions
reactions
and
and a
certain
certain
situation,
situations,
karmic
a karmic
configuration that we're
configuration that
coming
we are
into.
coming into.
In this
In
life,
this
I
life,
didn't
I
go
didn't go
through
through
a heavy,
a
painful
heavy, painful
situation,
situation,
not
not
yet.
yet.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
alright.
But that's
But
very
that's very
likely to
likely
have
to have
happened at
happened at
some
some
point on the
point
journey
on
of
the
the
journey of
soul.
the soul.
I don't have
I don't have
recollection of
recollection
that.
of that.
Okay.
Okay.
My
My
journey in
journey in
this
this
life
life
began
began more
more out
out
of a
of a
sense
sense
of
of
inquisitiveness,
inquisitiveness.
All right.
maybe
Alright,
more a
maybe more a
sense
sense
of
of
feeling
feeling
a lack
a
of
lack of
resonance
resonance
with
with
the
the way
way people were
people were
leading their
leading their
lives
lives
and the
and the desires
desires and the
and the
goals that they
goals that they
set
set
in
in
their
their life
life
as
as
successful.
success. Something I just
Something I
couldn't
just
relate
couldn't
to.
relate to.
And there was
And
always
there was
something
always something
sitting
sitting
deep
deep with
within
me,
me, wanting to
wanting
know
to know
what could be
what
beyond that.
could be beyond that. Okay.
What
What
was
was
your
your
pre-monkhood life
pre-monkhood
like?
life like?
What was your childhood
What
like?
was your childhood
Where did
like?
you grow up?
Where did you grow up?
Also, you
And
clearly grew
also,
up
you clearly
outside of
grew up
India.
outside of
So
India.
how
So,
are
how
you
are you
that
that
Indian in
Indian
the first
in the
place?
first
I'm
place?
sorry if it's
I'm
a
sorry, it's a
rude,
rude,
straightforward
straightforward
question,
question, man.
but I'm
But
just
I'm just
curious.
curious.
My
My
parents are
parents
from
are from
Gujarat. They
Gujarat.
came
They
over to
came over to
London in the
London in the
70s.
70s.
I was
I
born
was
in
born in
81.
81.
Um, Born in
Born in London
London
in a
in a
place
place called
called
Wembley,
Wembley,
and
and quite
quite a
a
multicultural
multicultural
place.
place.
Lots of
Lots
different
of
people,
different
a lot of
people, a lot
Indians
of
as
Indians
well.
as well.
And I
And I
guess
guess
growing
growing
up,
up,
I
I had
had
both
both exposure to the
exposure to the
Western
Western
world,
world,
the
the
modern
modern
culture
culture
of
of
Western
Western civilization.
civilization.
What club did you
What club
support?
did you support?
I actually
I
supported
actually
Leeds
supported Leeds
United.
Oh
United.
wow.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't
gone.
ask me
Don't
why.
ask
I
me why
just
I just
randomly
randomly
picked
picked
them.
them
Okay. Because they were on the up
because they
in
were on the up
2001.
in
Probably,
2001,
yeah,
probably. Yeah,
probably.
probably.
How old?
How old are you, if you
I'm
don't mind? I'm 42
42 now.
now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
You look like
You
my
look like my
age.
age.
Anyway, no,
No.
let's go on.
Let's go on.
Sorry, I'm
Sorry, I'm
interrupting you. I'm
interrupting you.
just
I'm
curious
just
about a
curious
bunch
about
of
a
these
bunch of these
sure,
things.
sure.
So,
Wembley.
Wembley.
Wembley,
Wembley, so
so
yeah,
yeah, exposure to the
exposure to the
modern
modern
Western
Western
civilization,
civilization,
and at the same
and at the
time
same
growing
time
up
growing up
with
with
Indian
Indian
roots,
roots, you know,
Indian
Indian
food,
food,
Indian
Indian
household,
household,
uh, and
and
attendance at
attendance at the
temples
temples and the
and
places of
places
worship
of
like that.
worship like that. But I
But
think
I
for
think for
me,
me,
when
when
people
people ask
ask
me
me about
about
what led
what
me
led me
towards
towards
this
this
life,
life,
one
one thing I
thing I
noticed
noticed
within
within
myself
myself
from a
from a
young
young
age was
age
a
was a gravitation
gravitational
towards
towards
simplicity.
simplicity.
I was
I was
almost like
almost like
having a
having
lot
a
of
lot of things
things
was
was
stressful
stressful
for
for
me.
me. Wearing
Wearing new
new
clothes
clothes was
was
kind of,
kind
I
of, I
became very
became very
self
self-conscious.
conscious. Once my
Once my
father,
father,
he
he
bought
brought me
me
brand
brand new
new
trainers,
trainers,
and I
and I
felt
felt
so
so embarrassed
walking
about
into
walking
school
into
and
school
being the
and being
center
the
of
center of the
attention with
attention with
something
something
brand
brand
new.
new.
So I remember
going
going
into
into
the
the
loft of
loft
my
of my
house
house
and
and
walking
walking
around in
around
the
in the
dust
dust
just to
to
get
get
them
them
dirty
dirty
before
before
actually
actually
going
going
out
out
and
and
wearing
wearing
them.
them.
And I
And I
used to
used to
see
see
poor
poor
people
people
on
on
the
the
TV,
TV,
poverty
poverty
around the
around the
world,
world, and I
and I
used to
used to
feel
feel
so
so
bad,
bad,
so
so guilty
guilty about
about
having
having
things.
things.
So
So
from
from
my
my
young
young
age,
age,
I
I
always
always
had
had
an
an
attraction, a
attraction, a
kind of
kind of
resonance
resonance
with
with
simplicity.
simplicity.
And I think
And I think that
that definitely is
definitely is one of the
one of the
driving
driving factors
factors
that
that I
led
led
me
me